Every weekend, I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other. It's part of who I am. If you ride, you know what I mean. That's why I insure with Shannons. They get it. They share our passion and give us the features riders want, like limited use cover and multi-vehicle discounts. Shannons insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. Whatever you ride, ride with Shannons.
Call 134646 for a quote.
Rare Spares has over 50,000 product lines and releases over 500 new products every year. Your local Rare Spares distributor has what you need when you need it. And as the only restoration company officially backed by Holden and Ford, we take our part in your project very seriously. Rare Spares, more than just a part in your project.
Good evening, sim racing fans, and welcome to your Thursday night broadcast here on SRW TV. Tonight we bring to you the Shannons Insurance Toyota GR86 Nationals. This is round 5, thanks to Warren and Brown Tools for season 3 of 2023. And tonight we come to you live from Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the 3.85 kilometer road course hosted in USA. It is 221 meters above sea level, and it is 32 degrees out here on track tonight. I am Nathan ShiBBy Howard, and in the comms box next to me is the man Ryan Green. Good evening, Ryan.
Good evening, ShiBBy.
Jeez, mate, get some pump about yourself. Come on, mate, it's the 86ers.
Good evening, ShiBBy.
Please don't ever do that again.
Alright, done. Deal.
All right, mate. We should be in for a good battle tonight. The Toyota 86s again have been putting on a phenomenal show. It is a super sprint series, which means there is 3 20-minute races. Second race will be a reverse top 10, which loves to cause a bit of chaos off the start. Third and final race of the night will be a reverse top 5, which again can cause a lot of interesting things to come up off the start, mate.
Yeah, lucky this track's pretty wide for the most part. It's like a bit of night and day compared to last week. Because staying in the US of A, of course, so the cars didn't have to travel too far on their little carriers. But in terms of track, I would say it's pretty night and day compared to the tight, twisty walls of Belle Isle to the open, flowing Indy roads. It's doesn't get much different, really.
No, it's a very, very open track. Let's grab a view of this track over above Tim Cornt. So a new driver has entered the chat, and it is Tim Cornt from Locked On Lads Racing. So that now gives John McHenry a teammate to work with. So this could be extremely interesting tonight. John has not had a teammate in the 86s for the past few seasons. So it's going to be interesting to see how these guys now utilise that teamwork against some of the other guys that definitely rely on teamwork to help them get through and up into the front.
Yeah, and he looks to be pretty much already up to pace. He's only just over 3 tenths off the back of John McHenry, sitting in P7 in this practice session right now. So that's P5 I've just seen, really, because of the two safety cars getting their obligatory fast laps in.
They're obligatory. Look how fast we are compared to you laps.
He's sitting in P5 already, with John McHenry setting the fastest lap of the first practice session, just behind resident fast man Jordan McDonald. As he comes around on the broadcast, maybe he was quickly getting into the pits. Who knows? But yeah, he's already up there with John, so that's good to see off the road. But it doesn't look like he's going to be extra baggage, I suppose would be the right way to put it. But he can actually get up there and help John, and isn't going to be completely out of the picture.
Yeah, you just got to try and keep up with the pace. I suppose the front runners set, because once they get out there, they are extremely quick. There's probably a top 4 or 5 that sort of, we've seen over the last few races that do break away from the pack and have this fantastic battle for top 5. And then we have that great mid-pack battles as well. The round before round 3, we actually saw 3 different sets of people on the podium over 3 separate races. So it's definitely keeping it interesting here with the 86s. And speaking of our drivers, let's have a quick look at the results and the standings, sorry. So this is your Shannons Toyota GR86 national standings. This is after round 4 last week. John McHenry from Locked On Lads is leading the charge, but only by 8 points back to Bruce White for LMR Esports, so absolutely nothing in it there. Callan Hodgkinson from Crisscross Racing will be trailing them in P3, but only by 13 points. So the top 3 are absolutely so hard to separate at the moment. Dan Batouche for ETS Motorsport back in 4th with 161 points behind. Ryan Price, Privateer, great to see him up there in P5. Only just joined us, has been learning the ropes of sim racing, is really starting to cut a groove into sim racing and showing what he can actually do out there. Team Greg, Mr. Greg Johnston, sitting in P6 at the moment, with, again, like tied with Ryan Price, so another close battle. Wayne Edwards for Web Sim Racing for 29 points, so barely anything in it between them as well. Kevin Wakefield for 17 points. Brendan Soper 389. Jace Douglas for LMR Esports will wind out your top 10 with 384 points, and this is only round 5, so multiple races plus being 3 races a night, many points on offer for the last, 4 more races to go before the championship round.
Thanks for the decisive rundown there. Your voice all right?
Yeah, it's fine, bud.
I didn't hear you breathe then.
This is only my 4th broadcast for the week, but we'll be right.
But I didn't hear you breathe once through all of that.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good tonight, mate. I felt a bit flat at the start of the Formula 3 last night. A lot happening at the moment, so I feel a bit tired, but no, feeling good tonight, mate. You can chime in at any point of time you like.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
You're welcome, mate. You're welcome. I just thought I'd let you know. I would just remind you, you are in the comms box with me too, so.
Oh man, I was just enjoying the show.
It is, yeah. I enjoy the show too, mate. It's going to be great tonight. So, Mark Turner will be in 11th place, Steven Sinkovich in 12th, Jake Edwards in 13th, Mark Cochran 14th, Jordan McDonald just joined the league and has pretty much taken out the first round that he jumped into. So he's already starting to build up a lot of points. Toddy Thorburn, only seen him turn up for a couple of races. I know he's a busy man over there in Kiwi land, Mr. Chef Toddy. Dylan DeBono in 17th, haven't had the greatest season. I think he's also missed a couple of races. Lockie Brett in 18th, Tyler Sheaf in 19th, and Daniel Fritz in 20th. Mr. Fritz will be out there doing race control for us tonight. But we are heading to the racecraft qualifying session right now. As we
I am sensing a bit of and I don't remember if you recall, when Jet Murray, last season's champion, first joined SRW and jumped in the 86s. It was mid-season. It was when I was racing. It was the season before last.
It was 3 rounds in, yeah.
Yeah, he joined, pretty late and then just ended up coming in and just cleaning up the competition for the most part and locking out the championship, when the second last round or last round to go. And although it's been, 5 rounds in for Jordan, it might be a tall ask, but the way he's been driving, if he can, including the drop round, he may, I'm just getting those vibes. It's just giving me the similar vibes to get Murray's late join.
We've seen him drive in the 86s. I've been watching him on the Tuesday nights in the Pro-Am, in the AMs for the V8 supercars. Jordan can definitely handle a road car. There's no doubts about it. I think he's got to try and fight off Callan, Jace Douglas, of course, John McHenry. Bruce White is getting really quick in the 86s as well. He's doing extremely well over in the Formula 3. So, as long as Jordan can, I suppose, get himself away from those guys, I think he have a pretty good chance. But if he does get stuck behind them, then it's just a total different ball game, isn't it?
It is, and he is the first person across the line to start his first timed lap for qualifying, so he's going to show the grid what the benchmark's going to be, provided he doesn't invalidate straight off the rip, as we jump on board with him now with your Warren and Brown cockpit cam. So it's very, very flowy compared to last week at Belle Isle. This track, it's a lot. It's a purpose. The infield track at Indy it is purpose built. It's your FIA Grade 1 certified track. You have your IndyCars race here. Formula 1 used to race here way back when, but it's honestly it's one of the most underrated road courses in the game. It doesn't really spring to mind for a lot of people. People don't really associate Indianapolis with the road course for obvious reasons. The Indy 500, one of the biggest races, one of the most prestigious races in the world. But the road course to me is, just as impressive and so thought out in the way it's designed, from just the chicanes, the width of it, how the cars can race, the long straights make it good. It's technical enough to make it interesting on the drivers, and it is up there as one of the more rewarding tracks to drive, as Jordan crosses the line now and gives us a 140.7. So that was about 5/10 off his best that he did in practice. So there's a bit more time on the table there, but we can expect to see times in the 40s. If you're in the 40s, Mark Turner next across the line with 42s and a few 41s in the fray. So they're the times we're going to look to be seeing in qualifying, is the mid to low 40s for the top guys, bleeding into the 41s down into your mid pack. So that's a very, very quick lap right off the rip. It's a push and peak pace almost immediately, and his tyres, dare I say, aren't even up to temp yet.
Yeah, just shot out there on a Alright, thank you, SDK. Yep, sweet. Good. Yeah, just went out there and treated it like a top 10 shootout pretty much. Got his warm-up lap in and then just hell for leather and took off out of there. De Bono just then actually setting a really, really good time as well. Still a fair bit off the par pace of McDonnell, which is how we do pronounce it, not McDonald.
Is that actually how it's pronounced?
It's McDonnell. Yeah. Yep.
Donnell. Oh.
Yes, it's Scottish, and it's really awesome because over in the Maverick Sim Racing Discord, they've actually made some soundboards using me calling his name during race, calling you McDonald. So
McDonnell. I mean, you can't blame me, to be fair. I just read it how it looks.
Yep, that's it. McHenry drafting off the back here of car 55, Bruce White. I wonder if that's actually going to help McHenry get a better lap. He's on some good times there. Mark Turner's going to come across as well. McHenry will a 140.635. Will jump McDonnell up into provisional P1 at the moment. Look how close those times are. That is absolutely ridiculous. So now we want to be keeping an eye on Dylan De Bono for Velocity Sim Labs. Of course, Bruce White from LMR Esports. This man is just getting quicker and quicker every week. Watched him phenomenally race in the Formula 3 last night. Ryan Price, the Bluey Mobile, right? Never touched sim racing until this season with Sim Racing World. Oh no, I've just he's listening to the broadcast. He freaked out.
He's touched the grass though, hasn't he?
Yeah, since I put him on camera. But anyway, Ryan Price really starting to show his form, driving extremely well. Finished in the top 5 last week in 2 of the heats and came 7th in one of the others. So he's moved from back of the pack battling right up into that middle pack now, which is awesome to see. Lucky Brett, teammate with Jordan, new team Maverick Sim Racing, I believe. Yep, hope I got that right. Definitely doesn't seem as quick as Jordan, but you know, having teammates out there can be a huge positive. He doesn't have to be as quick to sort of play as a blocker to the other guys behind him.
Yeah, well, and few are though.
Yeah,
few are as quick as Jordan. So I mean, there's nothing to knock yourself against. But it's good to have somebody like that in your team that you can learn off and can feed off, and he's somebody who's got that knowledge. And him being the team owner as well, Jordan, you can really help assist those. He's like really invested with it. Really invested in his teammates as a team owner as well. I can attest to that. You get really invested with your guys, and they're like brothers, they're like family, and you really want to help them succeed. And to have someone like that at the helm of your team is really strong.
Yeah, 100%. Makes a big difference with the way the team is run, and of course the morales within the team. You feel like, if you are part of a family, you want to get out there and race harder and do better. So, because you get that positive reinforcement. So, I just want to mention Dan Batouche for ETS Motorsport just jumped from 11th up into 4th off 1 lap. So nice and quick there. Guys starting to sort of level out in the 141s. You can see most of the guys starting to get close to that 141 mark now. The top 10 is nearly all within less than a second of each other. Still a few cars trying to get their pace up.
Yeah, a few cars in the 41s I would expect to see jump up into scraping into the 40s. Named like Dylan DeBono only needs another couple of tenths. Bruce White, we've seen how quick he can be as well. I mean, Callan Hodgkinson down in 11th that feels pretty low for Callan. Like we've seen him qualify up a bit higher. We've still got people like. I was going to say Connor Nixon hasn't set any laps, but looks like he may have a pit lane start, judging by the fact he hasn't left the pits. Him and Peter Gretton would be my guess. Jason Douglas has just joined into the server as well, so another name that we can see jump up into the low 41s, into the high 40s as well. So time's still coming down, still some more times to sort out, but it's definitely close. As you can see, between Brewer, Dan Bartouche, look at the gaps between DeBono, Bartouche, Bruce White, Cont. How do you say that? Count?
Cornt?
Cornt?
Yeah.
We'll go with Cornt. The gaps between, Bartouche, White, Cornt, Price is all just within less than a tenth of each other between each car. It's ridiculously close in that gap there.
Yeah, it is, mate. And we've been seeing this a lot this season, especially. The drivers are, I think, really enjoying this Super Sprint series. It looks like they're all getting out there and getting their practice in, because the battles we've been seeing up until now have been absolutely phenomenal across the board. So it's great to see how close these drivers actually are together, and it definitely shows when the race goes live.
Just while we weren't paying any attention, John McDonnell, McDonnell, I'm just gonna have to run with it sometimes if I say it. It's too hard. Now kept saying it one way, and now I have to change it.
Just say McDonnell making a great overtake, because then you could become part of the soundboard with me over at Maverick Sim Sports.
Of course. It's all part of the play. He has improved, is what I was trying to say. Jordan has improved. We'll just go with Jordan. Jordan has improved, but he was just wasn't able to improve enough to jump John McHenry. It was about 2 tenths off the back of John McHenry, but now he's jumped up to only less than a tenth off the back, setting a 140.68 versus a 146.3 of John McHenry. So he is out on track right now. He looks to have set a personal best first sector, hasn't improved in the others. Dylan DeBono just sets a personal best last lap as well. Don't think he moved up any positions. A few of these guys, a few green sectors popping up all over the joint.
Just jumped from 8th to 5th. Got himself into the low 41s. He is 1/1000th off Dan Bartouche's time. So Dan is on a 141.366. Price is at 367 as Jace Douglas from LMR Esports makes his first timed lap. We'll lock that in with a 142.546 with just I couldn't even count there. 3 minutes left to go. Not sure that's going to be enough. McDonnell has fired back and jumped McHenry by, what's that, 2/10 of a second now. Yeah, 144.22. So definitely getting the pace in there now. I really like to see DeBono get into the 40s. We know he can be extremely quick. Really, really hard and aggressive driver to race around as well. Extremely good at blocking. We've actually had Jordan McDonnell drop into the broadcast and say, "Hey team," at J-Mac Racing, drop in with his hand pink waving, hand pink waving, hand pink waving, and then he's also said J-Mac 1 and 2. Yeah, no, there's only one J-Mac to me, and it's you, mate. It's you.
Oh, I didn't even consider that there's 2 J-Macs.
Yeah, there is.
There is.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can only have one. Must be
something about the name.
Yeah, I can only pick one. Hey, I want you to try and pronounce Jaden's last name.
Basilage?
Yeah, that'll do. Because I have no idea how to pronounce it. So at least if you butcher it first, I won't feel so bad. But
I think it's Basalage or Basalage. One of the Basalage or Basalage would be my best guess.
Someone will correct us at some point in time. I'm sure they will.
Basala. I don't know.
One of the funnest things about this job is butchering people's names, and then when they tell you how it's correct, then you never pronounce it correct ever again.
I got given a split. It was like the late night split at one of the other leagues that I used to commentate in, and it was like it was like a lot of East Asians because it was very late. It started at 10:30. So it was an APAC split, but it was like later on for, you know, the West Coast people in Perth and for, you know, people in Singapore and Indonesia and whatever. And there was a few tongue twisters. There was a few tongue twisters, that's for sure.
First and last names.
That was very hard. Yeah, that was one of the that was no good for me. I'm not very good with names.
Well, you know Joe Mahoney.
Yeah, is it not? It's not Mahoney, is it?
No, it's not.
Oh,
well, it is.
Well, of course it's not.
It is now, because I already told him, like, mate, I've been calling you Mahoney for most of the season. It's Mahoney. Anyway,
it's just not. It's just, yeah, it has to be Mahoney now. It's unfortunate. He just might have to get it changed.
Yeah, he's going to change to pronounce. That will be the end of your racecraft equipment. Racecraft simulations qualifying result. Jordan McDonnell will take out the pole position and best lap tonight. John McHenry will take out P2. Let's get the grid up. On row 2, you'll see Dylan DeBono, Velocity Simsport, and Dan Batush for ETS line up next to each other. Ryan Price and Bruce White will be on row 3. Tim Corn and Lockie Brett, row 4. Mark Turner and Jaden, not going to pronounce his last name, on row 5. Callan Hodgkinson, Mark Cochran on row 6. Wayne Edwards and Jace Douglas, row 7. Jake Edwards, Kevin Wakefield, row 8. Stephen Sinkovich, Nathan Kane, row 9. Brendan Soper, Shane Newens on row 10. Greg Johnson, Stephen McCartan will be your race control this evening. And Connor and Pete will hold up the back of the grid for us. I am pumped for tonight's race, mate. I hope everybody else out there is as well, as the grid is getting ready to be set to go live and go racing any minute now. The countdown is on. 22 drivers out on track tonight to take on 3 heat races. This is your Shannons Toyota GR86 Nationals here for round 5 at Indianapolis. The calm before the storm. The grid is set. The lights are up. The countdown is on. And we are away for round 5 here tonight. A lot of movement on the grid. Looks like there actually has been a few cars get really bogged down. That's Mark Turner in the back there, dropping through the field. As we see John McHenry and Jordan McDonnell already getting close to each other. Jordan McDonnell, Dylan DeBono there as well, right on top of him. Will have to brake and check himself up as he was extremely close to the back of McHenry's car there. Ryan Price has got himself up 1 spot into P4 already. Cars flowing through really nicely through turn 2. Something's happened with Brendan Soper, I believe. Or there's just a lot of side-by-side racing as we see Jaden.
Oh, that's a terrible spot.
Oh, and another car is around as well. That is Brendan Soper there, spun. I can't believe both those cars actually missed all of that pack there. Dan Bartouche is now around. Cold tyres. We forgot to give the cold tyres warning. Mark Turner and Greg Johnston will hold up the rear of the grid now. The grid, because of all these slides, is starting to separate. We have Mark Cochran here, Tim Corn and Peter Gretton. Great to see Pete back out there. If you guys know who Pete is, he's been around for quite a while. Also helped teach me a lot of things about broadcasting. Good on you, Pete. Get out there and have a bloody good race, mate. McHenry and Price now. Price has taken it to the big boys.
Just jumping back to the start, I think it was John's teammate. Who with the other locked on lads car? Who is in the other locked on lads car? I forgot.
Tim Corn.
Tim.
Yeah, he has
Tim
his
Corn.
top
I believe
10
that was
spots.
Tim Corn. He completely stalled it at the start. You saw he gas up the tyres about 2 seconds after the green flag, kicking up a lot of smoke. Just completely bogged down. That's why you saw cars on the start spewing out left, right, and centre, and just everyone got checked up going through there, and then just through the chicane up here as well. Just full on. It's a big commitment corner. You can take a lot of the curb as we run on board now with Bruce White up already at one spot. As you can see, it's a lot quicker in supercars. It's a lot quicker in GT3s through there, but even the curbs, you got to ride them and you got to take it flat out the whole time. On cold tyres this early in the race and following, it can be very easy to take too much of it and get your car completely up in the air. And as you see, a few cars were come around here, maybe broke on the grass early. Is another reason we saw Dan Partushoff down the end here. Would be my US guest on board with Wayne Edwards now of Web Sim Racing, up 2 spots, sitting P11 at this stage. Looking ahead, you can see Mark Turner and Callan Hodgkinson getting a bit argy-bargy. This Callan's just popped back in. I was wondering what thought of my eyes deceived me. You know, he pulled a disappearing act on us, did Callan. As you said, Mark Turner's just down the inside, keeps it off the curb and gets it pulled up nicely. Checks Callan up. Callan's going to look back to the inside, doesn't get the nose in, but that's opened the door up here for Kane behind. It's brought Wayne Edwards into the fray as well. Kane's going to get a very good run off the final corner here and onto the main straight. You can see the slingshot around and he's going to just jump straight into the toe of Mark Turner. Almost just gaining and gaining and gaining. Callan's going to have the inside. Kane might lose out big here as Wayne Edwards behind. He's sitting pretty. He's sitting prior and he's looking... No, he's just backed off a little bit into the braking zone. I thought he might make a cheeky move with these guys ahead. Do a little bit of tossing and turning. Mark Turner still able to hold on to the position. Callan's still trying to fight it, trying to get the nose in anywhere he can. Just eases off for now and just tucks back into the toes and make the run towards the 4-5 flat out chicane. It's very easy through there in this guys. There's plenty of runoff you can use on the exit of 6 there. Callan Hodgkinson absolutely bringing the heat, putting him under pressure still. We've seen Mark Turner as the prize as Ryan Price has gone around in the background, and you see the pack that we were just on board with approaching rapidly. Mark Turner on the back of Ryan Price now. He's going to get checked up a little bit if Ryan Price doesn't get a move on. And it actually might have helped Mark Turner out a bit here. Oh, that's a car up in the background that looks like Edwards. You see dropping down the order. There's another car out on the left side on the grass. Not sure who that was.
Yep, Nathan Kane and Wayne Edwards both off track there in the background. Steven Sinkovich and Tim Court. This is actually a big line of cars. Shane Newens, Tim Court, Sinkovich, Mark Cochran and Dan Bartouche all here battling for P10 right now. This will be a good battle to keep our eyes on tonight, but Bruce White and Dylan De Bono are side by side coming down into turn 1. Who is going to break first? De Bono wheel slot in the side. Can he go? Oh man, it's so hard to tell what he was going to do then.
Yeah, he just looked like he went a bit deep. Yeah, he looked like he went a bit deep there, Bruce White, but he just got it pulled up just enough to get it back onto the apex for turn 2. I thought De Bono was going to have a good run around the outside. He was looking for it, that's for sure. He powered down to the outside of that corner. He's got a great run through 5 and 6 there, did Dylan De Bono. He's going to take the inside for 7 as they head towards the braking zone, looking for the end of the curve, and he's actually braking marker with the service road. dive down on the brakes, and he's got the nose in. They've kept it off each other. A little bit of door banging. He's trying to hang it around the outside. It's going to be too hard. Very hard spot. There's no camera on the road at this point of the track to really help you grip the car up. He has to back out of it and get on with it through 10 on the run now, through flat out 11 on the run down to 12. You can see heading onto the old brickyard of this speedway on board with Jake Edwards now. Just has to sit here and kind of watch these guys sort it out and try to pick up the pieces where he can.
This is where biding your time. Whoa!
Oh, big
What
snap.
has Bruce just done?
Big snap there from Bruce White.
Into the pits.
He's not wanted to do that. There's no reason to pit in this race. No, that's very, very unlucky, and he will get a unsafe pit entry for that one as well. So that would be all she wrote there for Bruce White. He's going to have to come in within the next 3 laps and serve that stop-go. So that's very, very unfortunate.
He has just come out of the pits now. Oh no, he's still in the pits. Wayne Edwards has just come out of the pits. So Bruce White has dropped down to 18th now. That is really, really unfortunate. Greg Johnson. So Ryan Price has also had a bit of another issue. Not sure what's happened, but he has plummeted from P5 to P15. He's now down 10 spots.
Yeah, he's just been driving backwards a little bit so far, Ryan Price. He'll be kicking himself, I sure. He was sitting up there racing door to door with J-Mac number 2. And now he finds himself all the way down the order, down in 14th at this stage. He's picked up another one down, so only down 9 spots now, doing damage limitation. But looking at the movers, Shane Nowens and Jake Edwards especially at this stage, up 10 and 11 spots respectively. So we can see just ahead, there's Shane Nowens right there, Steven Sinkovich in tow. Looking to fend these guys off. Nathan Kane sitting behind. We saw him up in the front earlier, so he's got a bit of pace behind him. And after that little incident he had earlier, he'll be looking to get some of those positions back.
Oh, Shane is around right in front of Sinkovich. And Kane, sorry, Newens is around. Did he manage to pull that back up on track? He did. He actually kept it away from Jaden, so he's only going to lose 2 spots there. But, geez, that was close when he spun. On board with Callan now, with Mark Turner absolutely chasing him down. Down into turn 1 we go.
Yeah, it's very
tight.
Very 2 methods of attack through turn 1. You can just see how wide it is, and it's very easy to swoop around the outside and defend from that spot. He hasn't done that good job of defending turn 2 and 3 there. Mark Turner's just swooped straight through on Callan Hodgkinson, and I think he just thought the job was done after that, but didn't have to ask Mark twice, but he's compromised his run through 5 and 6 a little bit. Callan's going to dive to the outside and go really deep on the brakes here, try to make a move around the outside. Now it's even deeper on the brakes there for Mark Turner. It's, dare I say, too deep. He's almost onto the grass. He is on the grass. He's going to have to slot back in and maybe lose toe because of it. It was very enthusiastic. That deep on the brakes, pardon me. You jump back, see Jaden Bazalage, just call him Jaden. Doesn't make the same mistake. Doesn't make the same mistake as Mark. Yeah, JB. We'll go with JB.
Oh, he's had a bit of contact with the back of Newens, and that's put Johnston straight into the side of him. Hopefully Johnston can keep going, but we do know how fragile these little cars are. Those are going to cause too much trouble for Johnson, but yeah, we saw that just then as he just copped the rear of the car in front of him. And that has caused his own car to spin.
Yeah, these two can't leave each other alone. They're like Tom and Jerry.
That's what we want to see. We're here for battles. And talking about the battles, McDonnell has absolutely gapped this field out. He is 8 seconds off second place of John McHenry, and then there's 1.5 seconds between McHenry and De Bono. Massive gap. As we do see Turner and Hodgkinson battling this out for P6.
Did he just make the move then through 5 and 6?
He did.
Did I see that right?
Yeah, he did.
That's a very courageous spot to go for it. That's why I was making the noise, yeah. As you see, just gets a good run off 4, and Mark Turner's gone to turn into the corner, but there's actually just a car there, and Callan's just swooped straight on through. That's not normally a spot we see an overtake. It's very single file. It's not even a braking zone, not a lift or anything through there, so definitely not a place we normally see a move done, but credit to Callan. He's managed to get the car, essentially get the move done on the exit of 4 by having the overlap on the inside for turn 5, 6. And I think he just caught Mark Turner a bit off guard there.
Yeah, he definitely did. I don't think I would have expected a car coming through there at that sort of pace. And then to look over and have someone shoot straight through, as we've got Lockie, Brett, DeBono and Jake Edwards all here. DeBono, Brett side by side. DeBono will break a little earlier than Brett. DeBono, good run, will stay in the draft here. Jake Edwards is going to have to watch out. Although the more DeBono and Brett battle, better chance Edwards has of getting away. But you can just see the pace of DeBono and Brett just sticking right to the back of Edwards at this very moment.
Yeah, he got an absolutely brilliant run there, DeBono. He's on a try. He's absolutely begging to take the inside, and he's grabbed it. He's looking to make the move here on Lockie Brett. We have seen people defend from the outside here, but he can't go too deep, can Lockie Brett, because of Callan Hodgkinson in front. That's actually put DeBono somehow on the inside for turn 8 and 9 here, and he picked up the position nicely, and he's managed to keep towed just with Jake Edwards ahead, who is up 12 spots. So this is your battle for the podium position between these three. Brett's just dropped off a little bit here. Not sure if he's serving a slowdown.
Yeah, he went from
what's
being
happened.
on top of them to 0.7 of a second behind them. So something definitely happened there, but it looks like he's clawing back at them.
Yeah, no, he's picked up the pace again, so not too sure what happened there with Lockie Brett. I think he might have just made a micro mistake and just cost him a little bit of time, still able to keep the tow. He's a man we haven't spoken much of since the start, and his little incident down at turn 7, down by Touche. Decent recovery drive, down 5 spots since the start, up at P9. I put him on the front row for the next race, but don't think he's really too concerned about that at this stage of the race with the 3 cars that are ahead of him. See Tim Corns at the front of the train here, and Dan Bartouche sitting at the rear end of it. Everyone's kind of just a bit of a pseudo DRS train. Right now it looks like it doesn't look like he's really not benefiting whatsoever, is Dan Bartouche, from the tow by just having a faster lap time. All the cars ahead really going for it, but we see a bit of side-by-side action here between Tim Corn and Mark Turner. Mark Turner's going to look to the inside, very deep on the brake again, Mark Turner, but he manages to get it pulled up this time. Callan Hodgkinson's going, yes, please, I'll have some of this action. Tim Corn still maintaining his position of 7th, didn't drop too many. Callan did have a look, but wasn't able to get it done. Dan Bartouche is having a look himself now, gets the nose in. Will have the inside. Don't think Callan's going to turn down on the top of him. No, it's a wise move. He did have the space to, should he want to, but wise driver decision. Dan Bartouche down the inside. There's a big curb there. He really can't abuse too much there, and he was being fed it there by Callan. So smart idea to back out there and not risk the car. Only 4.5 minutes remaining in this one. So these guys running out of time. John McDonald up to 7-second lead, so dare I say about 3 laps in this one-ish. I'll have a better idea once he crosses the line. I'll keep that one in mind, mental note. But these guys absolutely tit for tat right now.
Great bit of driving between these three. We haven't been able to separate them since race start. Jake Edwards, though, up 12 spots already. What a great effort here in this first heat. He will jump back to, if he holds this position, it'll be a P7 start on the second race due to that reverse top 10 grid. So interesting to see what he can do. He does have De Bono from Velocity Sim Labs hot on his tail.
Yeah, De Bono just about folded the rubber off the rims there going through turn 7. You see just absolutely sliding. He's going to make the move. The penultimate corner. Jake Edwards just caught a little bit off guard. He's going to have the inside, so good run. It's completely flat in these cars. Dylan De Bono is going to get a little bit of a better run out of there due to the less resistance on the outside. And he's sitting right into the toe, so we've seen people defend from the outside previously in this race, so we'll see if Jake Edwards can do the same. He's going to want to go deep on the brakes here. Dylan De Bono is going to go deep. See a little bit of squiggle on brakes. Now he just drops back in behind. He wasn't going to be able to get up. Oh! That's adventurous.
That's
Jake
not
Edwards
what Jake wanted.
Gone far too deep. It was very hard to tell from that front on camera angle just how deep they went. So he's gone straight across the grass there and lost the position to De Bono for that last spot on the podium. He was talking about defending from the outside, and he definitely was trying to do so, but went so deep, just wasn't able to get it pulled up for 2 and turned it into an 86 lawnmower.
Hey, the grass does need mowing, although it looks pretty nice out there tonight, that grass. Maybe Sinkovic has been out there earlier during the practice sessions getting it all mowed. I just realised something. Jason Douglas went in the pits and hasn't left yet, and I just scrolling back through, he looks like he's had an incident on lap 1 and then was in the pits from then.
I believe that was the incident on the exit of the fast chicane. We saw a car make contact at the beginning. We have a quick replay. No, maybe not.
This is the timestamp I have.
Oh, too much curb action. Was it broken already?
I'm wondering if it was. It's got damage on it, but I can't seem to find anything else that would...
I thought he might have been that car that got caught up on the exit of the chicane.
Get a quick look. Oh, it could have been here during the first...
Yeah, there it is.
Yep.
Yeah, there it is.
Ah, that's
There it
unfortunate.
is.
Two people come together and there's nowhere to go for Jace.
Yeah.
Right, back to live while we have a few battles going on. They've started heating up. We have Tim Court, Mark Turner, Cullen Hodgkinson, Dan Bartouche all battling it out for P6, and not far in front of them, it's now De Bono and Brett as we see Cullen go on the outside. We'll get the inside through there as well, and still 2 positions out of that one move.
And they're going to be going for it. Jordan McDonald, time's just expired now, and Jordan McDonnell has not crossed the line, so this will be the white flag lap for these guys. So it's really now or never for the last spots at the podium position. Dylan De Bono's right on the back now of Brett. He's hounding him. He's right under the gearbox. He's wearing Dior Sauvage. He can smell it. As he looks to the outside, he's going to go for a little bit of a switcheroo, get a bit of a chuck it down the inside. He really wanted it, but Brett's having none of it. Isn't able to get it done. He's going to be under threat now, though, from Jake Edwards behind as Jordan has crossed the line.
That is your checkered flag. Jordan McDonnell will take round 1. McHenry round P2, Lockie Brett P3. Jake Edwards and De Bono are going to come across the line ever so close to each other. Edwards will take out P4 though. De Bono P5. Bloody Barney not doing his job again, I tell you. Bartouche. Great drive there up in P8. Where was Barney? The man was off getting fucking meat pies and beers again. Did you see a white flag at any point then?
Nah, but I saw the time.
Oh. You yell at me, white flag.
I did.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, I missed it. Sorry, mate. Must have been too busy watching battles or something. My apologies. Right, Heat 1 results are in. Cracker of a start, first race tonight. Jace, get back out there and show us what you can do, buddy. Jordan McDonnell will take out P1 for Heat 1. John McHenry, P2, Lockie Brett, P3, Jake Edwards, P4, Dylan DeBono, P5, Tim Corn, P6, Callan Hodgkinson, P7, Dan Batouche, P8, Mark Turner, P9, Mark Cochran will round out your top 10. Mark Cochran will be on pole position for this second heat here tonight as the gridding has already started. There is no time between these heats. Mark Cochran from Apex Esports League.
It was very
Did you just say a naughty word?
No.
No, it's alright.
I was stumbling on my words is what I was doing. Oh, as it's only a minute grid time for these cars, as we got 3, 4 and 5 lights. And we're off, no stalls off the line this time. Some slower than others, but everybody's away for the most part.
We
see them all.
Who is that?
Filed. Mark Turner's got an absolutely magnificent start off the front row in P2. He's jumped up. Callan Hodgkinson's trying to make money moves into turn 1 as we all file through down the back of the pack. On board with Brendan Soper right now. That's Jaden going around the outside, going to get the move done at 3. And Jason Douglas is going to follow him through. See how we get through the chicane this time. Jason still moving up the pack. Up 6 spots already in 3 corners. Do the maths on that one as we make it through the 5-6 chicane this time. On board now, John McHenry and Jake Edwards. I believe that is on his left. Starting down the back of the grid due to the reverse top 10. We did forget to mention that earlier, so that's why we had Mark Turner and Mark Cochran, 2 marks on the front row, who finished P9 and P10 respectively. Mark Cochran's had a bit of a tumultuous start. Just looks like he got mugged off the line a bit. Just wasn't able to get the bite point exactly right on the start. Down goes the inside, does Tim Corn. Not going to be able to get the move done, I think. And it's actually, when it rains, it pours for him. I think he might get hung out to dry here. Look at all the cars behind him.
Come through as well.
They're chomping at his heels. Everybody saw one little gap, and it's just opened up the floodgates. And look at the cars behind him, just absolutely coming for it. As we're on board now with Jake Edwards, door banging now with Jordan McDonnell. Down into turn 1. McDonnell. I will get it right.
It's funny.
Eventually.
It's funnier if you don't.
I know.
I so hope you end up on that soundboard over in Maverick Sims Discord. Shout out to the Maverick boys too. I was in there having a chat with them the other day. Top lads. Anyway, back to the action at hand. These guys are inseparable. We have a battle for P3 that stretches down to P14. A lot of movement here as we see Tim Corn trying to line himself up, trying to get some airs. McDonnell comes right across in front of him. Jake Edwards will pull in as well. No, he's going to stay on the inside.
That was a huge dive bomb behind from, I believe that was Lockie Brett, just coming in like an absolute missile on John McHenry. Lucky John McHenry saw him coming. Didn't lose the position from it, but great awareness and heads up driving as that's adventurous. Keeps it on the track. Does Lockie Brett. As we're on board down with Mark Cochran down 6 spots. He's been driving backwards since the start, it looks like. Mark Cochrane. It's just, as we said earlier, it's just once you lose one, it's very easy for the pack when they're this close to just feed you down the line. It's like shuttle running, the old football training. It's like at the front, you just got to file it. You just get filed down to the back. Be on board with Dan Bartouche looking behind to Dylan De Bono. Seen him go for many moves down here at turn 1. There seems to be a spot of velocity. Simlap Dylan De Bono. They dive down on the brakes. Bit of a door bang into one. Able to keep the inside. Dan Bartouche. They bang doors again. Dylan De Bono, Dan Bartouche. He's going to keep it. He's hung it around the outside at 2. Did De Bono. He's going to keep the inside, and here it is.
What?
As we were talking about earlier, just when it rains, it pours, and if you get offline, the cars behind, they just want to file through. Something I have noticed, though, is John McHenry still stuck down in P9. He really has been playing, he's been too much of Mr. Nice Guy, it seems. Just started alongside Jordan McDonald, who's up 5 spots at this stage. Just late on the brakes, don't touch your teammate. Ooh, it's coming in hot. Was John McHenry able to get the move done on Mark Cochrane. So up 1 spot, finally did John McHenry. It hasn't been moving forward, I'm sure, as quick as he'd like to be. John, as we were saying, John McDonald already up 5 spots and did so pretty early on. Started right alongside him, and he's been making his way all the way up the grid. Just seems to be getting caught up a bit, John McHenry. He's up 2 now, albeit on his teammate, so would have most likely let him pass. We jump ahead towards Dan Bartouche, Jordan McDonald, and Jake Edwards. These guys going at it once again, as there's not really anywhere for good to go.
Oh, nearly some overlap. That could have been extremely dangerous. One of the quickest sections of the track here. That would have been a wall eater.
That was a scary moment.
Bartouche in front with Jordan Magden.
Oh!
Jake Edwards is around.
Exit stage right.
I think he managed to miss all the cars filing through behind. Jordan McDonnell, though, going the inside lane here on Dan Bartouche. Will get that move done, but John McHenry now starting to make moves through the field. Up 3 spots on the back of Bartouche now. He's not going to want to let this get away easy.
Yeah, I think he's been listening to us, and he look at the overspeed he's got through 5 and 6. They're going to go 3 wide now, down into turn 7. John McHenry on the inside, gets it pulled up nicely. Jordan McDonald able to file through the middle, and he's going to lose out here, John McHenry. Gets hanging around the outside. Dan Bartouche has filed in now in front of him. So wasn't able to, he got massive overspeed through the chicane, but wasn't able to get anything done. That was very impressive, though, from Jordan down the middle. You don't often see the middle man in the 3 wide scenario, the one come out most favourable. But Tim Cornt, after a bit of a struggle, first laps, looks to have found a bit of pace, and he's now right on the back of John McHenry, putting him under a bit of pressure. So, no, Mark Cochrane putting Tim Cornt under pressure as well. They're trying to say a lockdown legs car's getting me a bit topsy-turvy.
Jason Douglas from LRE Sports.
LMR.
Yes, I knew there was an M in there, I swear. LMR Esports, Jason Douglas, driver of the number 88 tonight, already up 13 positions, managed to stay away from the chaos that did ensue at the start of the first heat, and he is up and going again, catching up to these lads ever so quickly as they battle away. Dan Bartouche, Tim Cornt, McHenry are at it again. Are the Locked On lads going to get their way through the ETS Motorsports driver? Tim is going to get caught up side by side with him. John is going to lead the way. Tim did have to drop just in back behind, but that's put Mark Cochrane back on the back of him as well. And Jason Douglas is slowly closing this gap. It's still over half this second heat to go. Tim Cornt now. Can he get the move done on Cochrane? Go out the outside. Tuck it back in. Looks like he will hold that position for this moment. Mark Cochrane, though, has fallen a few spots. He seems to have found his groove now here, battling it out for P7. Mark Turner is doing a Jordan McDonnell right now. Got that fresh air. He's just out of drag reach of Callan, although Callan is starting to get into it. Pushing away out the front.
They're just about matching pace with each other. Just about a tenth faster last lap for Callan Hodgkinson. 141.6 versus a 141.7 between the two. The man behind them, though, he is pushing the wheels off the car. Well, was, until Jordan McDonnell has just taken the fastest lap off him. Dylan DeBono had the fastest lap for all of about 1.5 seconds, but nothing to fret about because it is a 40.8 in Dylan DeBono, so he's really getting a lot of pace under the car. Jordan is coming, though. It seems to be the looming presence behind the two. If these three bunch up, it'll soon become 4 with Jordan only 3 seconds behind, and then John McHenry again 1.5 seconds behind Jordan. So looks like it's spread out a little bit for now between these 5 cars. The front three start to bunch up a bit, but once these guys bunch up, dare I say, it's going to quickly become a 5, even 6, 7 car big pack for the win of the race.
Oh yeah, definitely is, mate, as both DeBono and McDonnell did set 1 minute 40s as we see Ryan Price take on the owner of the league, Steven Sinkovic. Get into it, Steve. Come on, Team SRW Motorsports. Don't let the Blue Mobile get around you, mate. It's too late. It's already happened. Ryan Price down a lot down a lot further than I was expecting. Did have a couple of little incidents, just set him back. But here is DeBono side by side with Hodgkinson. Crisscross Racing Velocity Sim Labs going at each other here down the main straight into turn 1. We've seen DeBono take many positions here tonight. Both matching each other's braking markers there. DeBono just getting the cut in. Hodgkinson goes a bit wider. Will he get a good run out of this corner? It looks like DeBono is going to hold this position.
Yeah, he's been carving out a lot of real estate at turn 1 tonight, has Dylan DeBono. It's really made a name for himself down there. And even if they've fought it around the
Newlands having a great battle there with Wakefield. They must be watching the broadcast, I swear. As soon as I change cameras, people just like to spin. So that's dropped Newlands back down to Price and Edwards now. Price and Sinkovic. DeBono is closing that gap on Turner. Hodgkinson couldn't catch Turner, but now DeBono is on fire. Turner's off. Turner's off. He has got back on without losing control. That was great catch there. But now that's going to put Hodgkinson. McDonnell is now around Turner and Hodgkinson. He has just got himself into P2 with only DeBono that stands in his way.
Where did he come from?
Just a rocket.
Just came out of nowhere.
Used the battling ahead of him to his advantage, picked his gap really, really well, and said, well, you two are worrying about each other, I'm going to come straight on through. So you are exactly right, mate. We have a 5-way battle for the podium now.
Yeah, I've rubbed the magic 8 ball on that one and may have spoken into existence, and even just behind Tim Court and Bartusha also closing on this pack. It's going to be very easy for these 5 cars to check up. They're only 1.5 seconds off the back, and it's just going to get added on and added on. We've seen these cars when they get in packs like this, the racing can be so tight, but they are a bit incident prone. The hitbox on these cars not the greatest in the sim, so hopefully we don't see too much niggling and nagging between the cars, as they can get prone to awkward lifts and whatever else.
God, you're talking about awkward lifts, mate. You should have seen the Formula 3 last night. That was crazy. Few cars got used like a ramp truck. Straight out of GTA. McDonnell. You can just see his pace he has in these cars. really pushing De Bono to the limits.
Gee, De Bono leaving just enough space plus 1 millimeter there towards the wall. That was barely any pocket for Jordan to pull that car up, but he did so in a safe manner, keeping it off the wall, and he's getting a great run out of the final corner. De Bono's going to maintain the inside. We've seen him attack down the inside on turn 1. We can see how he does defending his position. He seems to have whispered to that curb on the inside. He seems to know its secrets, and he's definitely late on the brakes, and he's going to keep the inside for 2 here off the apex. Smart just covers off the run on the outside for Jordan. He didn't give him any avenue for attack there. Jordan jumping to the left, just in behind, gotten a better run through turn 4 as they head to the 5-6 chicane. It's going to be under massive pressure here. Is De Bono heading down into turn 7? It's such a long straight down here in the middle. Hodgkinson 3/10 off the back, definitely close enough to capitalise should these two make any sort of mistake. Jordan down the inside, and Cullen comes in like a bat out of hell, manages to somehow get the car pulled up, keeps it out of the side of De Bono's door, and all in all didn't pick up the position, but God, would it give Dylan a massive fright, that's for sure.
Gave me a massive fright. Where that was coming from. Now Tim Corn is on the back of this as well. They're really starting to close the gap. Jason Douglas now up 12 spots into P10. What a great drive here from Jace. Battling it out with Lockie Brett. Hodgkinson is off. He's off.
And there's another one off as well. Who was that that's off? I
Mark
saw another
Turner.
car around. Mark Turner's off as well. So just as we've switched away, there's been contact.
Let's put Jace up into P8 now.
So Mark Turner's into the pits. So that must have been very, very, very heavy contact then, just as we switched away. If that's made Mark pit so soon with only 4 minutes
Callan
remaining.
self-spun and Mark has speared him nowhere to go.
That's a shame.
That was a great battle. Speaking of battles, Jace Douglas is still battling it out with Lockie Brett here. Both of them claimed 2 free positions, moving them clearly up into the top 10. Jason Douglas up 14 positions here, wanting to gain a few more. De Bono hasn't given it up from McDonnell now. Really late on the brakes there. We'll pull it up and keep it side by side. Great racing from these two.
Yeah, these guys are giving it everything as they're still side by side as Jordan looks to get the position back off Dylan, but we've seen how Dylan's been racing. He's not going to go down without a fight. This time Dylan's on the outside, heading down into the final complex. He just covers him off again. Jordan just saves himself from the cutback. May have been a bit of an off track there for Dylan De Bono. He cut a lot of the curb there. So be wary of the X's. Jake Edwards now still on the back of Jason Douglas, who is up 15 spots. That man, he's been on an absolute mission. It is a top 5 reverse grid heading into the 3rd and final race, so something to keep in mind. Dylan De Bono looking to the outside of turn 1 this time. Very late on the brakes there from Jordan. Manages to get it pulled up. Dylan's going to have to slot back in and just try to maintain a bit of speed heading through turn 2. Just from the outside, wasn't able to carry the same speed as Jordan was heading through turn 3. Gets it apex nicely, still within the totals. We jump backwards, looking towards Jake Edwards, who's almost into the back there of Lockie Brett. That was Jason Douglas almost into the back of Lockie Brett. He's almost pushing him along right now is Jason Douglas, really trying to get the wriggle on. These guys still 13 seconds off the back of Dan Bartouche in P5 for that reverse grid pole position, but so that unless something happens there ahead, that's not in contention. But this is your battle for P6, right? On board with Jason Douglas, looking for the inside Doesn't look like Lockie's going to give him any sort of room to get it. No, he does. He opens the door last minute, and that's all Jason needs. He's down the inside. Bit of a door bang there in through turn 7. On the run through 8, around the outside, and then into the inside does Jason Douglas, who's able to pick it up, but down behind Jake Edwards is trying to pick up the position. And then behind again, Nathan Kane looking up to maybe pick position on his own teammate.
Bono's off track. The Bono's off.
Is.
He's just fallen down to P5. That's put John McHenry into P2. Tim Corn, his teammate, up into P3. The Bono has managed to get it back on track into P5, but Jason...
Oh, that's
the
massive.
Bono's into the wall.
That's broken. That is massive contact. How's he ended up over there?
I don't know. We will find out, but the battle is still on here. Jason Douglas now up 17 positions, racing for P5, but Jake Edwards is hot on his tail with Lockie Brett and Nathan Kane. I'm going to find out what has happened with the Bono, because that is huge.
We'll just look between races. We got like 10 minutes. As we see teammate on teammate action between Lockie Brett here and Nathan Kane. Lockie Brett able to maintain P7, but as I was saying, P5 was going to be too far away for Jason Douglas. It wasn't after that incident with Dylan DeBono. He managed to get himself... It is, yes. He managed to get himself up into that P5 spot. So I may have commentators cursed that one out of Dylan DeBono, unfortunately. So as it stands at this stage, it will be Jason Douglas starting from pole position, but this is your man, John McDonald, from drive from P10 on the grid all the way up through the field, and this man, you just can't keep this man down, that's for sure. Very, very impressive drive here from Jordan McDonnell. I will get it right.
Oh, Jake Edwards putting the pressure on Jason Douglas now. The final lap.
Yeah, this is a very important spot here for Jake Edwards. This is the difference between P1 or P6 at the start of the next race. Jason Douglas is going to have to look to defend here. Just off the apex on the run through the final corner. This is going to give Jake Edwards a very, very good run on the exit, and they're going to be door-to-door, side-by-side, heading into the final corner. Jake's going to pull out of the toe and try to get it done, but he's not going to get it done. Jason's going to hold on to the position, and that'll be your pole position starter and P5 there. And Jason Douglas, you started 17 spots further down on the grid. An absolutely mammoth drive, started in 22nd position up into P5 in your second race of the night, but this man here, Jordan McDonnell, just absolutely unreal. How many wins in a row is this for him? Is this... Oh, he didn't win the feature race.
He took out Heat 1 and 2 last week, but John McHenry, actually took out Heat 3.
He took out Heat 3, that's right. So we saw that last time with the good sportsmanship and the redress there from Jordan, but so looking to complete the three-peat this time, as he was unable to secure it last week, but just absolutely unreal driving across the grid.
The other Locked On Lads driver as well, securing his first podium in the league here tonight. Just behind his teammate John McHenry will take P3 in our Heat 2. Oh, we can't look at the replays. Or can I?
You should be able to go back.
SDK doesn't let me. But yeah, I don't have. Anyway, what lap was it? It was the final lap, wasn't it?
Second last lap for Dylan DeBono.
So unfortunately, I have to do it this. Whoops.
Yep, there's a pitch there.
This way, and we will ride on board with the Bono for this final lap to find out what happened and caused him to drop from P2 after watching this phenomenal battle with McDonnell just happen over countless laps.
So I wonder if it was contact or whether he lost it on his own. We saw that curb down at turn 12 just be pretty mammoth and like cause the drivers a lot of trouble over the course of the night. It's him gaining a lot on the back straight down towards 7. I mean, showed the nose. So these guys aren't really racing too hard just yet. He's going to need to get a good run through 8 and 9 to get along the side. I'm just trying to see where it happened up here. So nice and close. And he's going to go to the inside.
I
no,
thought that's fine.
He's just desperate for the inside. Deep on the brakes. Curb.
There was a slight
some
touch.
Contact.
Oh, that is so unfortunate after watching that great battling.
So that complicates things then. So that was... Do you mind if we could see that from... like maybe a cockpit perspective? Because that may be penalty territory there.
Yeah, I've just got to do it this way again. Because I can't get any info once the session is moved forward, so we will just cop a fast forward through this. We do also have Jordan McDonnell waiting in the green room. We do have a 10-minute warm-up for our drivers.
It's only 5. I did lie, so there's only 2 minutes left. We'll get him in here in just a second as we take one final look at this, because this could be drama for the third and final race here. So he went outside and then inside. He got on the curb. Oh, wrong lap. That was the wrong lap. We'll bring him in anyway.
Oh my God.
Hello, Jordan.
Hello.
Hey, mate. Won't keep you too long because you don't have too much time. But good job on the win for the second and first race. We were just having a look right now on broadcast at the incident between you and Dylan there. So, thoughts on that one, I suppose?
Yeah, well, firstly, it was a great battle. I watched it and it looks probably more my fault more than anything. Obviously, like I knew he was on the crossover, but he got out of the mirrors and I couldn't see him anymore. So I thought he was way further right, and I just went to give him a little bit less track on the right side, so I could get a better entry into that last corner. And then just obviously swiped him over and stuffed him in the fence, which is not the way that I like racing, and obviously not ideal. Probably a penalty coming or something for that, but that we're both racing hard and not giving an inch to each other, which is exactly what you want to see. But even now and again, there's always going to be a mistake by someone, whether it be like just under brakes or like then just got out of the mirrors into the blind spot and couldn't see him anymore.
Of course, mate, of course. And we saw last week your incredible display of sportsmanship and racecraft as well. So I'm sure no one on the grid's going to look at you in any sort of dirty driver way. And yeah, of course, just racing incidents happen like that sometimes. And so we'll leave it in the hands of the stewards. I'm sure they'll come to the right call. But yeah, we just switched away from it before it happened. So hence why we were breaking it down there in the post race, mate. But grid time has just flicked over now, so not too much time to get your bum in the seat and get racing again. And we hope to see you in here again at the end of the race, mate.
Yeah, hopefully I can seal the deal this time and make it 3 for 3 instead of 3 for 2. But 2 for 3. But yeah, thanks, boys. I'll hopefully see you in the comms box again.
All right, mate. Good luck for the third and final race.
All right, we will here for our feature race for your Shannons Insurance Toyota GR86 Nationals for round 5. Thanks to Warren and Brown Tools. The last race will be a reverse top 5. So Jason Douglas from LMR Esports will take out pole position. Dan Bartouche will line up next to him in P2. Tim Corn, John McHenry, the 2 teammates on row 2, and Jordan McDonnell will hold up that 5th position. Everybody else will be on the grid where they finished in last race, as we need to get ready to set Go Racing again for the 3rd and final time here tonight on SRW TV. If you have been enjoying this broadcast, let us know by hitting that thumbs up and saying g'day in the chat. We are already off and racing. There, who's that, Bartouche?
That's a stall. That's a massive stall on the front row of the grid there. That was...
There's Dan Bartouche.
Yeah, that was Dan Bartouche already down.
Oh, big incident at the back. That is Bruce White and Peter Gretton. That is 2 absolutely destroyed cars.
Yeah, that'll definitely bring out the safety car, dare I say.
And there's still stuff going on in the background. There was another car around I saw as well. I think it was Ryan Price. Absolutely chaotic start here for the feature race. Cars still battling it out, awaiting that race control call.
It's out. Stephen McCartan just exiting the pits now, our race control. So he's making his way down the pit lane. Safety car has been called, so no more racing between the guys. Unless it hasn't been called. He's definitely moving the safety car, but these guys still look like they got the... looks like they're starting to settle down a bit now, I think. So... massive contact at the start of the race there. That was huge at the back of the pack, and it may have started... It happened at the back of the pack, but it may have started from the front.
Could have been
as
a
Dan
domino
Bartouche, we
effect.
saw, just completely just missed the clutch bite point. Completely dropped it on the front. So we have another look at it now, and have another look. See Dan Bartouche on the left-hand side of your screen, starting in P2 for ETS Motorsports. Just doing nowhere. Didn't even... As he's... Yeah, just gets it rolling there. He got moving, so...
Oh, Pete Gretton. Yeah, he's tried to dodge him.
It was, so... The stuff that happened at the back was a cause from what happened at the front. So Pete Gretton, it's a lot of overspeed. Darts right. Oh, and he's just lost it on his own a bit there. He's actually completely lost on his own.
Yeah, it looks like he's not realised that Bartouche was going so much slower. And then at the last second realised and went, uh-oh. And then, overcorrected. Lost the rears, put it into the wall. And unfortunately, that has caught Bruce White along with him. But that is massive incidents.
Yeah, he just looked to dart out of the way like he was driving a Toyota Gazoo LMDH. But the little Continental tyres on this car just not really designed to... How's McDonnell up to first? How's that happened?
Bloody good run.
How has that happened that he's already ended up in first place? That's incredible. What is this?
He
3 wide into 1.
Yeah, he is up the gut, so he's taken 2 spots already. And there's the other 2. Sorry, the other 1.
A locked-on sandwich, and Jason Douglas just out the front here. Still a bit off the back, and you wouldn't have thought the safety car would have been too long before being called. He's gotten a great run through 5 and 6 chicane. Maybe picked it up down the bottom here. Not too sure. Maybe a redress might be in place depending on exactly. He was called. That's huge on the brakes. Wow, he's done absolutely magnificent to get that pulled up. So he knew it was then or now or never for this safety car, it would seem. And you have a look on Dan Bartouche, you see just get completely stopped.
Oh, I was on board with the wrong car. I want to see the start from Pete. So looks like... Oh, there was a false start as well. Then a bog down. So Pete's got a great run out of there. Definitely feeling good. Seeing all the cars moving. And just... Matoush was not on the power.
It's pinned to be like...
He's looking at his bloody phone. Pete?
To be
off
honest,
your
I was
phone.
going to say, like, very, very late reaction there from Peter Gretton. I mean, it was, yeah, he did see Dan Bartouche just filing backwards off the stall off the start there, so not sure, I'm not sure, just maybe just misjudged the gap. If he's racing in, I'm not sure whether he's flat screen or VR, may have been looking down at a black box or something if he's in VR, but yeah, just even off the start, you'd think you have your eyes up and
Yep, I'll tell you what.
be looking ahead for any instance, but
Let's
yeah,
find
just not
out.
sure what happened there. It seemed like a bit of a...
Let's find out. He's going to be absolutely stunned. Hey, Pete, no swearing, mate. You're on the broadcast. Pete.
Hey,
Yeah, you're on the broadcast right now, mate. Hey, mate, that was a crazy start to that race.
oh, you reckon? I think like a skill, bro. I reckon. From me.
Did you get a phone call or something?
I don't know whether I'm sitting in the right position or not, but I'm just going with it. How's it look?
How did it look? It looked like,
Chaotic.
it looked like you got a phone call.
Yeah, we thought you might have to answer the phone and didn't realise what was happening up front. Next minute, you've put your phone down and, there's a car in the way.
Oh, I've got race control in my ear as well, so if he's telling me something, well, I'm just going to blame the broadcaster, I think, but no, I don't know. It's pretty fun out here. You should try it, ShiBBy.
Yeah, one day I'll get out there, mate. Actually, I'm going to jump in Indianapolis after this and race the
I'll blame that
Radicals.
on you.
So.
I'll blame that on you. Oh,
Safety car's back in pits, mate, so we'll get you back
All
to
right,
the
mate.
action.
Good luck.
As we are just about to go green flag racing, that was Peter Gretton, the man that we saw in the incident at the start of the race.
Oh, look at Douglas.
Jason Douglas is right on the back. He wants all of it on the start. He's ready to go racing. He wants it back, and it's a very good reaction there from Jason Douglas as well. Didn't get out to too much of a start. Did McDonald. He just leaves a bit to break the toe, and it's a long run down from the timing line, down into turn one. Jason's going to look to the inside for the lead of the race on the safety car restart. He's going to get it pulled up nicely. He's going to sweep around the front of McDonald and take the lead into the first corner, followed by John McHenry, who's reeling to get that win for this round. He's had so much pace and 2 second place finishes. He'll be looking to make moves. Just behind Tim Cornt, teammate as well, trying to follow through, but Jordan's making more moves up the front. They're side by side on the run down into turn 7. Door to door, side to side. As they come towards the braking zone, they're separated a bit. Jordan's going to go for 2 for 2 around the outside, and he gets it done. So managed to get back, gets 2 wheels on the grass. That's,
Douglas on the grass,
wheels on
into
the grass.
McHenry. Into McHenry. McHenry has managed to stay on track, but he has fallen back a lot. He's now gone from P3, P8 now. That is so unfortunate. It shows just how easy these cars let go with just a little bit of touch of the grass. Greggy
And
Johnson,
look at Greg
though.
Johnson now. It's
Nathan
contact, I
Kane's
believe.
around.
I believe that was rear contact there between Greg Johnson and Nathan Kane. We saw how close off
there's 2 more
Greg
cars
Johnson's
off.
off the
He's
track.
going to go across in front of Batouche.
That's massive check up. And here comes Ryan Price down the inside. He might pick up 5 positions in one corner here.
Big incident
contact
into the wall.
More contact in the middle of the field. This might bring out another safety. Oh, it's a rejoin. Whoa, it's all happening. These guys, they've
What
saved
has
it all.
happened?
They've saved it all for race 3. These guys.
That was wild, and there's another car off as well.
On the outside.
What has happened this race?
Hey, these guys are having a laugh.
Yeah. Like what? Where did this go
Barthelage
from street racing to destruction derby?
up 4 spots. Oh, sorry, down 4 spots is James since the start of the race. Ryan Price up 4 since the start. We saw him pick up like 5 positions in one corner just before. Is that Stefan McCartan? I thought was coming out onto the track. His name changed colour, but no, he's still sitting still.
Still sitting there. They might be letting
That
that.
was a bit of that. May have been an SDK. Oh,
Johnson's
look away. There's
off
more
track
cars
as
off the
well.
track. Every time we turn back to the action, there seems to be someone on a little excursion.
I need to see where all that started.
Oh mate, who knows
too
where
much
it
to
started? We
filter
only
back
saw it
through.
ended.
Jace Douglas down 9 spots, which is super unfortunate for that spin earlier.
Now there's ambulances outside my window. It looks like they're coming to pick him up. Let's hope the broadcast isn't picking that up.
It's all right, guys. It's just in the sim. It's just in the sim. Crikeys.
Absolute pandemonium on the start. Tim Court is only 3/10 off the back of Jordan. He's really brought that back. Lucky Brett, and man, we haven't really seen too much of tonight. Looking to move down the inside. Manages to get it pulled up. Just about done, no, but Jake Edwards is going to fight it back. John McHenry's still hanging around in the action. He's down a spot. He's after getting caught up in that incident earlier with Jace Douglas.
He can get himself back on the podium here.
Oh, he's going to have a massive run through here, and look at him through turn 5 and 6. He's right on the back of Lucky Brett. Lucky he could have bump drafted him into the wall. He was going that fast. Pulls out to the right hand side. He's going to go for the Jordan McDonnell swoop around the outside. Don't think he was deep enough on the brakes to really fight it. No, Lucky Brett's managed to fight him off. He's just had to slot in behind. That's a good move again around the outside, and we've seen it many times. Drivers picking that outside line down at turn 7 to get the move done. It doesn't really seem like the inside of turn 7 is really the spot to get a move. We jump behind now with Ryan Price right onto the gearbox of Wayne Edwards. He's moved to the inside of the banking here at the Brickyard, gets it done, keeps it off the curb on the outside, and he's kept it off the grass on the outside. We've seen many drivers tip 2 wheels onto the outside. It's very deceptive. Oh, goodbye, Ryan Price.
Linking for Price
And we're
there.
back.
McDonnell just setting the fastest lap. Really starting to push away from Corn, but Corn's in the 41s as well, so Corn's not too far off him.
Just dropped about 5/10 last lap. He was right on the back of him earlier on, only about 2 or 3 tenths earlier.
Callan Hodgkinson and Jace Douglas coming down into turn 1 again. Callan just on the brakes a little bit earlier than Jace. Clips the curb, gets the car unsettled. And that is the 3rd spear tackle for the night. Reggie Johnson will sneak his way up into P10 now as well. Right behind them, Jaden and Sinkovic. Sinkovic gives Jaden a little bit of a love tap.
Steven's like, get through the corner, buddy. We're trying to make money moves. That looks pretty broken from Callan. He's just, you see how slow he was through.
Oh, he's front
yeah,
left.
he's
Look at it.
crabbing all over the place. So he's trying to get it back to his
right.
it's completely gone. That suspension is completely snapped. We'll see if we can get cockpit cam and see what type of steering angle. Yeah, he's complete left hand down. He's got the steering wheel straight here to turn right, so that's completely broken, undrivable, and they're so hard to drive when the steering rack is like that. So these drivers do have a fast car in the race. He'll be trying to nurse this one back into the pits, and with the way this race has been so far, he's actually parked it up. He's parked it up.
Is this going to pull out a safety car and make this a last-minute sprint to the end?
It may do.
They don't have to release the safety car, and if he's in a safe spot and the field has passed, he can tow, and they don't have to release the safety car. So we'll see what happens. They may let the race play on as Jake Edwards and John McHenry battling it here for P3. So McHenry has just managed to get around Edwards, but Edwards is going to fire back.
and Callan has towed into the pits, so was in the safe spot to make the tow. Oh, all over the curb, Jake Edwards going for a hop, skip, and a jump. Looks like he's playing hopscotch on the way through 6 there. Just completely launched it.
These 86s blow my mind how each race on the same track is so phenomenally different. We got a big battle pack here starting to form for P10. Greg Johnston, Stephen Sinkovich, Jason Douglas and Jaden Basilage all battling it out for 10th spot right now.
Jason Douglas starting on pole position after finishing P5 last race. Seen his race pace has been absolutely phenomenal. As he's looking to look to the inside on Jaden Basilage. Gets it all the way in and he's going to get the move done. Looking behind at Greg Johnson. He's looking at the intersection, just sticks on the racing line, but he's going to get a good run. Maybe looks, if he got a better run, he could have looked to the inside here for the second last corner. Stephen Sikovic is still hanging around, looking to get in on his action, but Jaden Basilage right in the toe of Jason Douglas. And this is a 4-group tow here. These guys are right with each other. Jason pulls out to the left, Jaden on the right. Double J down at the braking zone as he just pulls ahead. Basilage as well deep on the brakes there for 2 cars. Greg Johnson's up on the inside. Kind of almost pushed him through the corner there.
Mate, you can go quicker Johnson through there. Come on.
Just say we're going quicker than this. He almost picked up at the position on Jason Douglas for good measure as he jumped forward to battles all over the place. Jake Edwards on John McHenry. Now, John McHenry's been absolutely in the wars today. He's been fighting all sorts of battles.
Mr. Consistent, as he is known, is leading the championship just by finishing in that top 10 every race. Top 5. It is very, very rare we see J-Mac under the top 5, and he is actually our championship points leader right now.
And I'll tell you what, Tim Cornterhead didn't get walked away from. It was under a second not too long ago. It's still only a second the gap. So this still isn't over. 3 minutes and 2 minutes and change remaining left in this one. So it'll be 2 laps remaining. 2 laps remaining. We can say this will be the penultimate lap. Next lap will be the last lap for these 2 lead cars.
This is white flag now.
No, next lap's white flag.
Sweet. Barney's not doing his job, mate. Someone needs to fire him. Oh, Douglas. Johnston's managed to get round Douglas. Douglas is going to fire back now. That is my new one-liner, by the way, everybody watching. Firing back. Douglas is going to fire back on the outside line coming into turn 1. Oh, Johnston! Whoa! We nearly had an exact repeat, except with the 2 opposite cars.
Dan Bartush's in the pits as well, so something's happened there. That's caused him to pit. He's just flew into the pit lane this lap. Just hit the box now. 2.5 second stop, so he's taken a fast repair. So something's happened there that's caused Dan Bartush to pick up some damage. Sikovic is just
the top 10.
Man, what's gotten into him?
He's up 6 spots. I don't think I've actually shown him spinning tonight. Oh no, I've said it.
He's a man possessed as he's looking to make up another one on Greg Johnson down to the inside. He's late on the brakes. Greg Johnson leaps into space, but isn't able to get it done. Jason Douglas is going to look to go around the outside twice on both the corners. No, isn't able to get it done. Good run there through Jason Douglas, and he's going to be right on the back of Stephen Sikovic coming down towards turn 12. I forgot my corner numbers for a half second there. Isn't able to get it done, but look at these guys.
The corner numbers. I know turn 1 and last corner. Jake Edwards, though, here trying to take that P3 away from John McHenry. Crisscross Racing has their eyes locked on John McHenry.
Steven Sikovich just jumped Greg Johnson.
Let's go, Steve.
He's up to P8.
Come on, Team SRW Motorsports.
He's driving like a man possessed.
Oh,
As we
they got 3 wide. Looking like
Oh,
they're going
almost.
3 wide. Stevens hit the curb into Johnston.
managed to keep it straight, kind of just surfed him around turn 1, kept the car straight. There was a helping hand there from Greg Johnson. Just, if it wasn't for him, he would have been all sorts of backwards.
So this will
This is the white flag lap, so this is the last lap of the race. John McHenry and Jake Edwards going at it, only 2/10 of gap between the two. Jordan McDonnell, without a shadow of a doubt, is going to take this one away, but Tim Corn kept him honest, only 1.3 behind, looking down the inside, wasn't able to get it up the inside there, Jake Edwards, and isn't able to get it done. It was kind of the last roll of the dice there, as Jordan McDonnell, the three-peat, the clean sweep, pole position, fastest lap, all 3 wins, quadruple crown at the Brickyard. Congratulations, Jordan McDonnell.
Yeah, solid race from him tonight. I'm sure he definitely wanted to lock out that 3-race win. Seems he's always sort of hindered by McHenry, Edwards or Hodgkinson, which unfortunately did fall off the track in some of those incidents and retired out of this race. Great drive from Tim Corn on his debut race here tonight for SRW from the Locked On Lads racing team. Will lock himself in a podium finish again for P2 here for our feature race. John McHenry, his teammate from Locked On Lads as well, will get that P3. Jake Edwards from Crisscross Racing, what an absolute cracker of a drive he has done tonight. Lockie Brett will follow up in P5. Ryan Price, up and down this guy, up and down, just like the 2 Bluey kids, Bluey and Bingo, up and down all the time. Solid first race, really not the greatest second race, but again, locking himself into a top 10 finish in the feature race here tonight. The results are locked in, and I'm telling you, my throat hurts the most commentating on the 86 nights.
Tell you what you can do for me.
Can we drag the oh, they're not in here.
Not that. No, do you have a? Should we do driver of the day while we're waiting for the guys?
They better hurry up because I've got a session to get into in 15 minutes.
Who's your pick for driver of the day?
Oh, gosh, man.
I have one.
Well, you shoot.
Like from like P22nd to P5 in one race for Jason Douglas was absolutely mammoth.
Done.
That
deal.
was one of the biggest movers I've ever seen in one race.
Lock it in, mate. Jason Douglas from LMR Esports will be your driver of the day tonight, as we do have John McHenry in the pits. My lord, ShiBBy. We have John McHenry in the green room awaiting. So
shall we just bring in the 2 teammates together then?
No, please do it one at a time.
All right, we'll do it one at a time. John.
Hello, boys. How are you?
Oh, mate. There's a lot going on in that final race, mate. We're still recovering a little bit. We're a little bit hazy after that one.
Yeah, certainly was a lot going on. I mean, that, first few laps there was a bit battling out there.
Put your mouth closer to your mic, please, J-Mate.
Yeah, it's a new mic. It's kind of all over the place. Can you hear me better?
A bit better.
Turn him up in Discord.
I have. He's maxed.
Oh, well,
a little bit better.
Maxed out. You might just need to start screaming.
Might have to. I've got it right in front of my mouth. That was. I had to fight back on that one. That's for sure. To get back to P3, that was pushing pretty hard. I had a good battle with Jake there for last half of that race, which was great fun.
Yeah, mate. Well, we've given you the nickname Mr. Consistent for a reason, mate. You seem to find yourself in the big paying positions week in, week out, pretty much every race, and you're sitting top of the score sheet for the season because of it. We were saying pre-race we do sense a bit of Jetto Murray from 2 seasons ago in the form of the other J-Mac making the rise through the score tables of the earlier stages. So
yeah,
mate,
if I can stick with Jared through all that, then it's going to be a good fun finish to the season, that's for sure.
Yeah, mate. Well, you're keeping yourself in the right places, most certainly to get to stay up there. Just, mate, you're never really in the wall, never really in the wars, and always scoring big points. So keep it up, mate. And dare I say, the gap may be too great, and you might have had too much of a head start for him to make big damage. But it's good to see some fierce competition up the front. That's for sure.
Yeah, good fierce and good fun competitor up the front too, which is good to have.
And mate, you're gonna give yourself a little friend out there on track.
Yeah. Timmy decided he wanted to join us. He mightn't make every race, but it's nice to have a teammate out there and see another car in that livery running around out there.
Mate, up P2 as well, so he ain't no slouch, that's for sure. And most helps so much having another teammate out there to strategize with and work with on track. We saw the LMR guys last season, the way those guys in race trim and the toe of these cars just able to stretch gaps and work together with pits and pit strategies. Not that you have to pit this season, but we saw in the past just the value of having a teammate out there. So yeah, very exciting to see you two work together for the remainder of the season, or whatever rounds that Tim can attend. Now, how do you pronounce his last name?
Cornt.
It is Cornt. Okay, it is Cornt. Just wanted to make sure.
No, terrific. So,
before I get the stream up on the all for adults only.
Oh, well.
It's close.
Yeah, when you started pronouncing, I was going to say it's like the other word, but with an A in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, J-Mac, congratulations, mate. We got 2 more guys to get through before the Radicals kick off, and I really want to get into that session. So I'm going to boot you out of here after you say thanks to everybody who keeps you on track.
Locked On Lads doing it for Cure Cancer, It Ain't Wait to Speak, and the boys doing the Shitbox Rally. Pete and Vic, love you boys for what you're doing, and we'll see you next round, guys.
Yeah, too easy, mate. Congratulations, and we will see you next week.
Catch ya.
Right, to P2 on debut for SRW is Tim Cornt. Good evening, sir.
Evening, fellas. Evening. That was a lot of fun.
That's what we want to hear. As soon as you get in here, that was a lot of fun. It looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. I haven't been racing for a while, to be honest. So I've been trying to find the right race, right league to get back into, and here I am. And give J-Mac a bit of support as well. Try to keep out of his way so I don't ruin his championship. But yeah, a lot of fun.
Mate, I keep hassling John about getting more of the Locked On Lads over here for SRW, and I do understand everybody is quite busy, life, families, work, so it's great to see another Locked On Lads car out there, mate, and it's so good to hear how much fun you had for your first race. Do you reckon you can now start helping John drag a few more of yous over?
We'll see. Look, the guys you're right, the guys have had a fair bit personally going on. Everyone has, to be honest. I think COVID was a great time to jump into it, but once COVID disappeared, we all got our personal lives back, and it got in the way. So who knows? They've got their own leagues at the moment. I wasn't really interested in jumping into those. I wanted to do something a little bit different. So, I know a couple of years ago I was promising J-Mac I'd join him, and the 86 is a good car to jump back into.
Heck yeah, mate. And you like the super sprint format?
Yeah, it's good. It's fun. I apologise firstly to anyone in the first race. First time I've had to actually start off the line with these cars. Usually, obviously, officials do rolling starts, so I wasn't ready for that start, and I couldn't get it into gear. So apologies for anyone run up my butt. The rest of it was lots of fun and yeah, very enjoyable. And hopefully, J-Mac can get to the championship and win it.
Yeah, well, good job tonight, mate. We look forward to seeing you back out on track. And because there is 2 of you on Locked On Lads, you may as well shout out who keeps you out here on the track as well.
Oh, he would have, thanked Locked On Lads, the team. And obviously we've got a couple of community groups that we support with Cure Cancer and Living. So that's where you should send your Google searches and find out a bit more about them.
Yeah, that's awesome, mate. We also have a link for the Shitbox Rally where the Locked On Lads team are raising money for in our Discord. So if you want to go help out an awesome bunch of guys, head to our Good Charity for a Good Cause charity section in our Discord. Click their link and give away some of your hard-earned money for a great cause. Congratulations,
cheers,
tonight,
guys. Appreciate
Tim,
it.
and we'll talk to you next time.
Cheers. Thank you.
Right, from P2 to P1, and our overall round winner tonight, Jordan McDonnell. McDonnell.
Hey, you finally said it right for once.
I've been saying it all right all stream. It's actually, you're going to get some great sound clips of Ryan Green saying it wrong, though. So I definitely want to hear his voice on some soundboards.
Yeah, well, hopefully Lockie's listening and he can put it on.
It was 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Sometimes it was McDonnell, sometimes it was McDonald. Well, it's just whatever flew off the tongue.
Yeah, no, it's all good, mate. You guys got to come up with a lot of words really quickly, so I don't blame you.
Well done tonight, mate. You locked out the 1, 2, 3 finally. Nobody really sort of was trying to get in your way apart from that the third race, where you and Jason Douglas, you and DeBono in the second race as well. Damn, you guys put on some battles.
Yeah, that was a heck of a race, that second heat. Unfortunate way for Dylan to, fall out of it. And then obviously after that safety car, I was actually trying to slow the field up, but Jace was like full tit up my ass, and I wasn't even on the throttle. Coming down to the start line, he was just pushing me, and there was nothing I could do about it because I was trying to leave it late so they couldn't get the tow. But obviously, he had enough momentum and he was hard in it that no matter what I did, he was going to get a draft. And yeah, passed him. I can't remember if I went around the outside of him or passed him up the inside going in. No, I ran the outside and then outbraked him into that tight left-hander before the back section of the track. And I ran wide, and then I checked my mirrors and saw him flying off, and then just saw him come skating across in front of the field, and I was like, oh no, here's another safety car. But yeah, no, we managed to keep it green and had what's his name? Tim was keeping me honest, to put it that way, the draft, and he'd catch up, and then I'd pull away, make a mistake, and then he'd be back on my ass again. And that draft was just so hard to break, and I think right at the end of the race I managed to break it. And yeah, I think it was like 1.5 seconds or something at the line, maybe.
It was extremely close, mate. The whole race tonight was absolutely phenomenal. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it when you go back, and definitely watch the broadcast because I know you will. Solid racing tonight, mate. Well deserved of the 1, 2, 3 lockout tonight, mate. It was great to see your teammates as well getting in with the battles. How do you pronounce Jaden's last name?
I was just going to ask that.
Yeah, how do you guys say it?
Basalage.
Yeah, Basalage.
No, so it's Basilay.
Basilay. Well, can you tell him to remove the frickin' J from his bloody name then?
No, mate, that last name's gonna be famous, I reckon, in a few months.
Yeah, because we're gonna butcher it.
No. Him and his family, his mum and himself, she's created a makeup line, which you'll see on our cars soon.
Oh, nice.
Some advertising, but yeah, she's made a makeup line here in New Zealand, and They're moving into America, I think, at some point to make it go really far. And it's it's a really cool thing. It's all like super healthy for your skin, and the formulas and everything have been created by her. And Jaden's done all the branding and all that kind of thing. So it's a really cool product. So yeah, that last name might be pretty famous soon, mate.
Well, we'll keep an eye out for it, mate, and let's get your sponsors a bit more famous, hey, and you let us know who keeps you out here on track racing.
Yeah, well, big thanks to the boys at Maverick. I just want to give a shout out to Nate Kane, his bald head again. Nate, Jaden, and Lockie, they're really starting to take it to road, and I don't think we've been on dirt since we started in this league, so it's good to see them starting to find their feet and mixing it with the boys. Obviously, Simblacks for sponsoring the team, Pukekohe Auto Care, Hymec, and our new sponsor, which is also my new business on the side, is Custom Graphics. So if you're looking for iRacing graphics or real-life graphics for your real-life race car or road car or business, logo, brands, all that kind of thing, then get in touch, because I look forward to working with you.
Yeah, awesome, mate. Well, congratulations. Great race tonight, and we look forward to seeing you out here on track again next week.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. And thanks to you guys for doing the broadcast again, and SRW for putting on the event. Awesome league to race in. So
good to
see you guys next week.
Yeah, have a good one, buddy.
See you, mate.
All right, Ryan, that will wrap up our broadcast here tonight for the Shannons Insurance Toyota GR86 Nationals. This has been round 5. Thanks to Warren and Brown Tools. Our overall round winner will be Jordan McDonald. The results will be posted in the Discord to find out who came in second and third very, very soon. Huge shout out to all our sponsors that keep us doing this. Of course, our drivers on track, we can't do it without them. Huge shout out to all of you for coming along and watching our broadcasts every week. We highly appreciate all the support. I have been Nathan ShiBBy Howard. In the comms box next to me has been Ryan Green, and we look forward to doing this with you all again next week. I'm going to end this broadcast by saying stay safe and race hard.